The other big project you had going on this year was really the town of Plattsburgh is the first to develop a park and a waterfront walkway along the Saranac River as part of the Saranac River Greenway. That, of course, the Saranac River Trail going up from Plattsburgh and extending out and extending west, and the hope is that eventually it could go 20, 25 miles all the way to the town of Saranac.
Yeah.
So this is a major component of that along the way. Tell us about what this offers.
Sure. So this project exceeded everybody's imagination and expectations. We worked in collaboration with the CVPH Health Foundation and the New York State Health Foundation. Both of them were amazing to work with. We established what we believe to be a true public-private partnership. You know, building this spur or node, as it's often referred to, is a multi-generational space where kids can play on some park elements. There's fitness equipment out there. You know, there is trails. There's ecological interpretive signs. There's a boardwalk where you can actually walk through a wetland. And then, of course, there's access to the Saranac River. It's a beautiful, wonderful space that, you know, people from all over the region are checking out. And, you know, I'm really proud of what our team did to be involved with that, but I'm very, very pleased and thankful to the numerous civic organizations and companies that stepped up to help make this a reality. It is one of the finest examples of how the town of Plattsburgh has partnered with individuals to create something that is not only unique, but will be, you know, long-lasting for our community to enjoy.
And the other communities involved in the Saranac River Trail, where's everything stand with developing the overall trail?
You know, the Saranac River Trail Greenway Committee continues to advance their efforts, you know, from the mouth of the Saranac all the way to the very beginning of it. Schuyler Falls, I believe, is looking forward to developing a node or a spur in the next year or so, and then Saranac will be doing the same thing. But, you know, one of the things that I often talk about with the town of Plattsburgh is we do a lot of planning in the town. Our community development and planning department really looks at, you know, kind of the 1-year goal, the 5-year goal, and the 10-year goal. Whenever we do a plan, we have an expectation that we're going to find the funding and we're going to find the partnerships. This is an example of our LWRP plan that we were able to implement, and we've got about 5 more projects that are in that plan that we want to get to, one of them being the Battlefield Commemorative Gateway.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
That was announced last fall on Veterans Day. The hope is to create a Vietnam War memorial on the waterfront on Lake Champlain. This is down south of the city along Route 9, off of Route 9, and to create a triangle of history. You called it because you have Valcour Island, Revolutionary War, you have Crab Island, War of 1812, and then you would create the Vietnam War Memorial there on the banks of Lake Champlain.
Correct. So we're working in partnership with the Clinton County American Legion Group, and they've already invested a significant amount of money in helping us do the first stage, and that's called the visioning stage. It's where we work with a company called Elon. They do some watercolors. They start looking at the site map, seeing where things would be positioned. That doesn't necessarily mean that every element of that will come to fruition or that we can't add to it. What it does is it allows us to create a menu for people to say, I want to fund that, I want to be involved in this particular item. And a great example is the Lapeer Lane Riverway project went through the same process. So if you love that project, you are absolutely going to be just over the top enthused with what the Battlefield Commemorative Gateway project will look like in the future. You know, as we work towards the 250th anniversary of our great nation, that's when we're hoping to have made significant progress by then. But I really want to thank John Rock and Steve Bowman as our partners in this unique public-private partnership advancing this. What we expect is in the next couple of weeks or next couple of months is to make another announcement of what some of the visuals look like, and then also some of the funding opportunities that we've secured by then too.
There is a concept for what the war memorial will look like?
Yes. It will include some elements like a storybook trail. It will include kind of a ship's deck that kids can go on and their families or classes to get a sense of what it's like to be on the water, but also some interpretive segments. So that's the first portion that we're doing, then we'll work with larger swaths of our veteran groups, from Honor Flight to the Legions, the VFWs, to make sure that their feelings are infused with the project itself, because it's not only for them, it's about them. And we need to make sure that their fingerprints are on it as well.
And again, this is at the old Air Force Base fuel jetty, so
Yes.
and it looks right out on Crab Island and Valcour Island, and so is
right
the
across.
thought that there would be boat rides, excursions out to those islands in addition to the memorial that's there at the gateway.
Yep. So there's two segments of the plan. One is the jetties, which will be more of kind of the natural opportunity. That's kind of the official gateway. The concept is one side of the jetties will have a boardwalk to provide accessibility. The other would be more of kind of a natural trail. But the boardwalk side would allow for a boat to come in to bring in our veterans, wounded warriors, a number of groups, and that will probably be organized by the American Legion groups to get them out to places like Crab Island, where every year for the Battle of Plattsburgh, they've been doing a wreath-laying ceremony because John and his group actually reconstructed the American flag that's out there. It's a wonderful story. So we want to get people on the water. The other part to it is the parcel that's a little bit further up is where we plan on building the gateway connector, where there will be a tribute to our Vietnam Memorial veterans, as well as other veterans that have served past and present. So it's a really unique project.